Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jimmy and Nye exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider, or MSP, in Queens, NY. They offer services like network management, unified communications as a service, UCAS, cybersecurity compliance, infrastructure as a service, IaaS, cloud, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or maybe you manage IT for a growing organization, this deep dive is definitely for you. Today, we're really digging into something pretty urgent, a big shift that's, well, it's affecting a lot of businesses, probably many of you listening. Microsoft Authenticator, you know that app so many of us use every day, it's phasing out its password management features. And this isn't just some small update, it's a major strategic change. If you're a small business relying on this app, you really need to understand what's happening and honestly act fast. So our mission today is clear. Unpack what's going on, why this matters, and it's more than just inconvenient, it's a risk, and crucially, what immediate steps Mr. Len Kaplan's blog post says you need to take. You might be thinking, okay, what's the real deal here? Why the sudden fuss over a password app?
Well, it's fascinating, actually. Microsoft is clearly streamlining things. Len Kaplan's recent blog post lays out a timeline that's, well, it's tight, very clear, very urgent. So get this, starting June 1st, 2025, that's really just around the corner, you won't be able to save any new passwords in the Authenticator app, period. Full stop.
June 1st. Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it escalates quickly. By July 2025, just 1 month later, those autofill features, gone. They'll stop working completely. And this is maybe the kicker for some businesses. Any payment info stored in the app, it gets permanently deleted.
Deleted, not just inaccessible, but deleted.
Deleted, wiped. It's a pretty definitive move.
Yeah.
They're not messing around.
Okay.
And then, the final date, August 1st, 2025, any passwords you had saved in Authenticator before all this started, they become totally inaccessible, like poof, gone.
Poof, gone. That's a bit scary when you think about business accounts.
It is. Now, Microsoft's reasoning, as Kaplan points out, is about consolidation. They want autofill and password stuff handled primarily by Microsoft Edge. This lets Authenticator focus on, its core job, supporting passkeys, which are super secure, much better against phishing, and multi-factor authentication, MFA, that extra security layer.
Right. MFA is key.
Exactly. So strategically for Microsoft, it makes sense. But for anyone using Authenticator as their main password vault, it's a huge immediate shift they need to manage.
Okay, poof, gone really sticks with me. Thinking about a small business, maybe multiple team members using this, that June, July, August timeline feels incredibly fast for critical functions. So what does this mean on the ground for that small business relying on it day to day? I'm picturing chaos on a Monday morning.
That's precisely the scenario we want to avoid. And connecting it back to Kaplan's points, this isn't just a little hiccup. It genuinely raises big questions about business continuity, about your security posture overall. Kaplan's post really nails down 3 critical impact areas.
Okay, what are they?
First, just the straightforward risk of data loss or disruption. Imagine, like you said, your team suddenly can't log into their project tools, or marketing can't access social media, sales locked out of the CRM.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
It could be anything, vendor portals, accounting software, cloud services. If you haven't planned, you lose access to logins and potentially that payment info come July or August. That's lost time, lost productivity, potentially lost money.
Okay, so disruption is number 1. What's next?
Second is security and compliance concerns. Losing access isn't just inconvenient, it can hamstring your ability to respond to a security incident. Think about it, if you can't quickly access an account to shut it down during a breach, that's a major problem for investigation for containment.
Right, you need quick access in those moments.
Exactly. And beyond incidents, it affects access governance. How you manage passwords isn't just, good housekeeping. For compliance frameworks like PCI for credit cards or HIPAA in healthcare, it's absolutely essential. A messy transition here could easily put you out of compliance.
Which means fines, potentially legal issues. Yeah, nobody wants that.
No. And third, there's the user friction and workflow disruption, just the sheer frustration and lost time.
Yeah.
Employees hit a login page, expect autofill. Nothing happens. They have to manually type everything, maybe switch tools mid-task.
Painful.
Really kills productivity and morale.
Yeah.
It just highlights why you need a solid plan now to avoid all this cascading trouble.
That's a really clear picture of the potential fallout. Productivity hits, compliance risks. Yeah, major headaches. But okay, let's shift to solutions. Mr. Kaplan's blog post doesn't just raise alarms, it gives an action checklist. This is where it gets really practical. What's step 1? What should listeners be doing, like today?
Right, Kaplan is very direct here. Step 1, absolutely critical. Identify affected users. You need to know who in your organization is actually storing passwords or payment info in Authenticator.
Makes sense. Can't fix it if you don't know who's affected.
Exactly. Once you have that list, the next immediate action, and this is time sensitive, export those credentials. You have to do this before July.
Before July. Got it.
Kaplan really stresses this because autofill stops in July, and they're gone completely by August 1st. The app itself has an export passwords feature. It's usually under settings, then autofill. Use it now, save that CSV file somewhere secure.
Okay, export done. Then what? Find a new home for them.
Precisely. Select a new password manager. You've got choices. Microsoft Edge Autofill is one option, integrated, free, familiar if you're in the Microsoft world, might be the simplest switch for many.
Okay.
Or look at third-party managers. Bitwarden, 1Password, iCloud Keychain. Lots of good ones out there. They have different features, different security approaches, different costs. You need to see what fits your business best.
So evaluate the options.
Right. Then import the credentials from that CSV file you saved. Most managers have an import function. Or if you choose Edge, you might just set it as your default autofill provider. And here's a detail that's super important and easily missed. Payment information. It does not transfer automatically.
Okay. That's a key detail.
Huge detail. Any credit cards, etc., stored in Authenticator, they need to be manually re-entered into your new system. Don't forget that one.
Definitely note that down.
And finally, maybe the most important for a smooth transition across a team, train your employees. Don't just send a memo. Explain why this is happening, walk them through exporting, importing, answer their questions, and crucially, use this moment to introduce passkeys.
Ah, yes, passkeys. The future, maybe.
Kind of. They're much more secure, phishing resistant. It's a chance to upgrade your security posture, not just react to this change.
That's a really solid checklist. Export before July, choose a new manager, re-enter payment info manually, train everyone, and look at passkeys. Phew. But okay, beyond just the technical steps, how do businesses make this, well, smooth and compliant, and maybe even use it to get better security long-term? What are the best practices Kaplan suggests?
Yeah, this is about turning a potential problem into an actual improvement. Kaplan's post covers several best practices. First, audit your apps and workflows. Really map out everything that relies on Authenticator autofill. Every system, every team, understand the full scope so nothing gets missed.
Know what you're dealing with.
Exactly. Then, update your documentation. Internal guides, IT policies, and definitely your compliance policies need to reflect the new way you're storing credentials. If you're under HIPAAs or PCI, this is non-negotiable for audits.
Right, keep the paperwork straight.
Absolutely. Also, roll out clear communication. Emails, internet posts, maybe even quick info sessions. Explain the timeline, the why, the steps. Keep people informed.
No surprises.
Right. And offer hands-on support. Kaplan mentions his team at CDML does webinars or one-on-ones. That can help guiding people through the export-import process. It can make a huge difference, reduce errors and frustration.
Yeah, that support sounds crucial.
It really is. And finally, looking ahead strategically, encourage that shift to passkeys and passwordless logins where it makes sense. It's a major security upgrade, reduces phishing risk significantly. It's about building a more secure future, not just patching a current issue.
That's great advice, turning a forced change into a security win. It sounds like while it's work, it's a chance to level up. Now, for listeners thinking, okay, this is a lot, especially if they don't have a big IT department, what kind of help should they look for? You mentioned CDML. What does that support look like in practice based on Kaplan's post?
Exactly. For many small or growing businesses, bringing in an expert MSP like CDML can be, a lifesaver here. Kaplan outlines how they approach it. First, they provide holistic IT oversight. They don't just look at Authenticator in isolation. They assess the impact now and, importantly, down the road as more things shift towards passwordless, strategic planning.
Thinking bigger picture.
All right. Second, they offer seamless migration support. That's the practical stuff, configuring Edge, managing the export-import, training users, and crucially, verifying everything aligns with compliance rules. They handle the nitty-gritty and make sure you stay compliant.
Takes the burden off the business owner.
Completely. Third, they focus on security and compliance modernization, making sure data stays intact during the move, ensuring you're audit ready, and implementing things like passkeys using best practices. And lastly, their vendor expertise is key. Because they work with partners like Dell, Microsoft, SonicWall, HP Aruba, QuickBooks, Virtue UK's VoIP, they can integrate these changes smoothly into your whole IT setup. It's not just about one app. It's about the entire ecosystem working securely.
Okay, so let's boil this down. The big takeaway from our deep dive into Mr. Len Kaplan's blog post, That June to August 2025 window is real, and it's tight. You absolutely must export passwords from Authenticator before July 2025. Choose and set up a new password manager immediately. Remember, and this is key, payment details need manual reentry. They won't transfer. And use this as a chance to explore passkeys and passwordless options to seriously boost your security.
Couldn't have said it better. This change, it really underscores how dynamic cybersecurity is. Staying safe isn't a one-off task. It's about constant adaptation, embracing technologies like passkeys to cut down risks like phishing. It's really an opportunity to build a more resilient, modern security foundation for your business.
Great final thought. And if you feel you need expert guidance through this, Mr. Kaplan's team at CDML is ready to help. You can reach them at 718-393-5343 or email sales@cdml.com. Their website is www.cdml.com. Definitely check out their blog too for the posts we discussed and other insights. Till next time.